George's Park for the second half of this FA WSL fixture between Birmingham City and Manchester United. And it is Caitlin Ford, the Arsenal number 19, on the right of those three next to Nobbs and Van der Donk, who's made the difference in the first two goals, one in the 37th minute and one in the 39th. 8th and 9th of this WSL season means that it is very much the Gunners' game to lose at the break. Two slightly peculiar goals, well, the first more so than the second, in that second almost caught you by surprise. It was so quick after the first, but the first was a strange one. The flag came up from assistant referee Emily Carney, and Arsenal were furious the goal had been ruled out, and then Elizabeth Sims, without even going across to consult her assistant referee, very quickly overruled her assistant flagging and said, nope, that's a goal. Birmingham's brave resistance was broken. Have got a very decent defensive record, the Blues, but now they've got to find a goal from somewhere, and to that end, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Claudia Walker very soon. Walker's scored 5 of Birmingham City's 10 WSL goals this season. She's been put on the bench today. Well, there we go. As I was saying, Claudia Walker on. A statement of intent from Carla Ward. So Birmingham City have brought their top scorer this season off the bench. And they're going to do their very best to try and make things difficult and awkward for Arsenal, who, now they're 2 goals up, would expect to comfortably see this out, if not maybe score some more. Another note, you might have noticed the... I'll come back to that in a second. In fact, it is a double change for Birmingham City. Number 10, Christy Murray, as you may have heard, has come on for Chloe McCarron. Number 18, Claudia Walker, who was surprisingly taken out of the starting lineup today and put on the bench. Places Emily Murphy, who's had a really tough gig in that first half as the lone striker. Had precious little opportunities to get into the game. That might see a switch to a 4-4-2 with Walker and Murray up front, but we'll have to wait and see, as that's late from Kelly. Emma Kelly fouling Noelle Maritz. Maritz, who came in at right back against Aston Villa last week and was excellent, has been again today. Slightly overhit pass, and now Birmingham City can break. It's a 3-on-3 if they can work this quickly. Walker just trying to turn. She has kept hold of it, Claudia Walker. Maybe we'll have a point to prove to her manager, Carla Ward, after not playing in that first half. Walker again. Rare foray forward for Birmingham City. And then the cross caught by Williams. Williams a long way from home. Elsewhere in the WSL today, second half's well underway elsewhere. We're slightly behind, a few minutes behind the other 2 games that kicked off at the same time. Brighton and Tottenham is goalless, as is Man City Everton. Arsenal fans will be hoping that Everton can do them a bit of a favour. See, they come chasing a third. Miedema. Worked wide for McCabe. So good at delivering from those wide areas. Now Mead. Quite the creative force, Beth Mead. Against Aston Villa, had second highest touch count of her season so far. Was heavily involved in that win. It's been a bit more quiet today, but it's provided a useful outlet on the right. As McCabe tries to cross. Only half blocked, recycled by Green. Birmingham City play their way out of trouble and win the throw. Still winless at home in the WSL this season. They've had a bit of a disrupted season as well. Quite a few fixtures called off on their home ground, their home patch of Solihull Moors FC. That ground deemed to not be meeting league requirements, so that's why, despite this being a Birmingham City home fixture, we're in Burton-on-Trent in the Derbyshire countryside. And the remaining home games will be under ongoing review in that regard. Got this backlog of home fixtures. Indeed, after today, 6 of their 8 games left in the season after this fixture are at home. Birmingham City have got trips to West Ham and Chelsea, and apart from that, it seems like for the now and immediate future they'll be playing a fair bit here. Little ball around the corner, it's caught Mead out. Holloway clattered. That could well be a card for Leah Williamson. Yes, it will be. Well, she can't have many complaints about that. Williamson goes in the book. Birmingham City have got a chance to get the ball into the box, which, when they did well in the early part of this game, did cause some problems. Goal was gone in elsewhere that Arsenal fans won't be particularly happy about. Chelsea lead early against West Ham. Sam Kerr assisted by Beth England. Too much on the ball in, and Williams can catch easily enough. Sam Kerr scoring her 12th of the season. One behind Viviane Miedema. Miedema also already the Netherlands' all-time top scorer, despite only being 22 years old. Pardon me, achieving the feat at 22 years old, I should say. Here is Miedema. Was off target on 3 separate occasions in the first half and hit the post early on. Can't normally keep her quiet for long. Ball in only half cleared. Now Murray can get it away. Throw in one by Wuvenmoy. Miedema. Birmingham City just about playing their way out of trouble. That was good from Molly Green. And a late tackle, and that gives the Blues a chance to recover and get up the pitch. Lottie Wuvenmoy not happy with the decision. Unlike her centre-back partner Leah Williamson, she won't go in the book for that challenge. Forward, Katie McCabe does just enough. "53 minutes gone. And if Birmingham City could just find a way to nick one, that would really make this game interesting. Helped on. Brave block in there, and now Arsenal can break through Miedema. Nobbs. It's a good ball for Maritz, who recycles. Touch around the corner. Doesn't work from Miedema. Now one back by Kelly. Too much on that one. McCabe with the miscontrol. Just to remind you of how things look at the top. As things stand, Chelsea with 38 points from 15 games. Manchester City 2 points behind. Manchester United a further point behind, but having played a game more than both the sides above them. And then Arsenal in fourth. So 9 points behind the Gunners. 9 points behind the Red Devils, pardon me. Having played 2 games more, they can cut that gap to 6 points, having 1 game in hand if they see out victory here. Ahead of that big game against Manchester United in 12 days' time. As Holloway brings it forward. Important interception. Walker was lurking. Mead creates the space. Lovely worked move, and then Mead scoops it well over. In fact, over the netting as well behind the goal. Not the former Sunderland striker's finest effort. Normally you'd at least expect her to hit the target, and a frustrated shake of the head tells you all that you need to know. Birmingham City play it short. It's Ruby Mace. Mace, a 17-year-old on loan from Arsenal. There you go, the press from Arsenal working well. It's forced Birmingham to panic and clear, but it's worked out well enough. Well, Rebecca Holloway saying she was pushed, and she was by Noel Maritz, but it was just so clever. It's a bit of dark arts, really, just a little subtle push, and that caused Holloway to chest the ball into touch. You can understand why Birmingham City are appealing. You can also understand why referee Sims decided it wasn't big enough to give it as a foul. Holloway forward. She's got the bit between her teeth now, Holloway. Birmingham City doing their best to be a bit of a nuisance. And they're pressing hard the pitch, and it's working quite well. He's Mailing round the corner. Scott needs support, isolated. It's not a bad ball in, but too much on it. Nobody was at that back post. Now, referee Elizabeth Sims wants to have a chat with Risha Littlejohn. Well, there was a challenge in there from Littlejohn that wasn't the best tackle. We played advantage. And that was what referee Elizabeth Sims was pulling it back just to mention. Followed by Williamson. So good at distributing from the back. That's a rare poor moment from her in that regard. Walker with the flick round the corner. Didn't quite work though. Arsenal well placed to win back-to-back WSL games for the first time since they won 6 in a row from February through to October, the back end of last season and the start of this season. It's not been a great spell for them. The last 9 games have gone as follows: lost, drawn, win. Lost 1, drawn, lost 1. 4 losses in there, 3 wins and 2 draws, 11 points from 9 games. And that's what's taken them from right at the top of the table to scrambling to stay on the coattails of the top 3, the 2 Manchester clubs and then Chelsea, who lead the pile. And what's really hurt them is 2 defeats against Manchester City, taking just 1 point from their 2 games against Chelsea, and then losing 1-0 away at Manchester United. 2 points from their 5 games against the teams above them. You feel like that home match against Manchester United in 12 days really is a must-win game. win that game, assuming they were to win here, and then win their game in hand, and they would be level on points with Manchester United. Lose it, and they would be 6 points behind them. Nobbs helps it on, Miedemar. Miedemar goes herself, too close to Hampton, who did well, because if she'd have spilt that at all, it probably would have been 3-0. Just kept it within her grasp. Goal elsewhere, Inessa Cargman, who's been a very successful recruit for Brighton this season, moving from Everton. Has nabbed the opener for them against Tottenham Hotspur in a battle of 7th against 8th. Both those teams also just trying to make sure of their status in the division for another season. Of course, only one team of the 12 goes down in the WSL, and right now Bristol City are in the most peril. Just 6 points for them from 14 games. Everyone above them has got at least a game in hand or two on them. Big game for them on Monday night. Bristol City hosting Reading. Maritz. Well, Littlejohn thought of fouling and thought better of it. Here's Miedemar. Van der Donk has great skills, does go down, but had already lost the ball. Forward towards Walker. He hasn't had much in the way of service. That's good persistence from Claudia Walker, winning it back. There's frustration from Littlejohn. He was in a good position there, didn't get the pass off Green, pardon me. Arsenal on a very high press, as they like to be. Birmingham City playing their way out well enough, though, given away by Holloway. Forward by Williamson. That's a great ball in behind for Mead. Mead just couldn't quite get there, but Holloway under pressure had to concede the corner. Well, that was magnificent from Leah Williamson. Defence splitting pass from centre half. The modern centre back in the very best way.
For Arsenal, leaving the field is number 19, Caitlin Ford, replaced by number 10, Kim Little.
So Caitlin Ford won't get her hat-trick, but it's her pair of goals within 2 minutes at the back end of the first half that look like they might well decide this game. She comes off having added 2 to her tally. Now has 9 goals this season, the Australian, to go with 5 assists. Kim Little, the Scottish maestro, comes on. McCabe's ball in. Headed away by Kelly. Back in again. Just about clear and smashed over by Williamson, who's furious with herself. Well, she took it on the half volley. She had time to bring it down as well. Maybe a bit more time than she realised.
Substitution for Blues in the field is number 14, Emma Kelly. Replaced by number 20, Jamie Lee Napier.
So Emma Kelly, who was back in for just her 3rd WSL start of the season, her first since starting in the 1-0 loss at Aston Villa in mid-November, comes off.
And second change for Blues in the field is number 8, Molly Green, replaced by number 19, Lucy Whip.
Molly Green, who was also one of the changes to come into the starting lineup today, also now makes way. You see Whip coming on, so change in both wide areas for Birmingham City. Of course, in the coronavirus era, substitutions up from the previous 3 possible. to 5 now. Birmingham City have made 4 today already, 2 at half-time, 2 now. It does give managers and head coaches a greater degree of tactical flexibility. Mead can't quite stab that one in behind. Miedema. In behind for Mead, who can't quite get there against Holloway. Holloway did well, positioned herself nicely. Arsenal looking for a third. Goal difference could be important this season, so certainly won't want to sit on 2, and their standards are much higher than that anyway. Stabbed away by McCabe, who was fouled. Taken quickly. Arsenal are a side that like to play the game at good tempo. Little touch inside, but lost by Walty. Mace plays it back. Ruby Mace, who's got a chance at Birmingham, the Arsenal loanee, because Rachel Corsi's loan spell was cut short, joining Kansas City in the WSL. Want to keep an eye on Ruby Mace, weighing 4 for Birmingham City today. In the long term, Arsenal and Joe Montemurro still see her as a centre midfielder in the long term section of her career, but a chance to get centre-back experience in the WSL is certainly valuable, no doubt about that. Here's Mead. Such a good creator, Beth Mead. 28 assists in the WSL. Her teammate Jordan Nobbs is the only current WSL player with more across the all-time charts. Williamson. Space for Williamson to pick a pass. She's very good at that. Loose touch from Miedema, who's not been quite at her lethal best today by the incredibly high standards that she so consistently sets. Van der Donk. Looks wide. Mead. Crosses. Miedema. Miedema, lovely shimmy, unselfish. Now it's in and gathered by Hampton. Again, good skills from Arsenal, but couldn't quite find the third goal that one suspects would definitively finish this game off to get them a valuable win away from home. They've only won 1 of their last 5 away games. It's been a bit of a problem for them. And indeed, the main reason they've actually dropped off the top 3 has been their away form. Their home form is very good. 16 points from 7 home games, but just 10 points from their 7 away games. Chelsea, Manchester City and Manchester United have all bettered that away tally by at least 7 points. So that's the main reason for the gap that they have to make up. 3 wins away from home, but 3 defeats as well as 1 draw as well. 1-1 draw at Reading. As the sun sets away to our left-hand side, the shadows lengthen. Thankfully getting somewhere towards spring and eventually the English summer, where temperatures rise a little. But it hasn't been the warmest day, despite what the sun might suggest. Here come Birmingham. Can they work something? Goal here now could change the game. Scott in, gathered by Williams. He's eager to get on with it. They've been defending for so much of this game, Birmingham City. There will be naturally fatigue, and that probably plays into why Carla Ward has made 4 substitutions. It makes a lot of sense. Arsenal, meanwhile, have only made the 1 change so far. Miedemar. Oh, lovely skill with the nutmeg. Still going, Miedemar. And still going. Cleared, but danger not gone. Proper penalty box pinball this. And Birmingham City get it away. It will come straight back at them though. Arsenal just starting to kick back into life after this poor run of form. It was 8 points from 8 games before that 4-0 win at Villa last Sunday. They've been in decent rhythm today. They could have easily had a lot more than the 2 goals they've already scored. I hope to add to their tally now. Beth Mead over the corner now. They'd like to take these short. Little is offering and little is used. Decent cross from Little, well gathered by Hampton. Arsenal streaming back and some slightly weary Birmingham legs, unable to charge forward with intent. Hampton has to reluctantly bowl it out to Broom. Oh, it is easy to think this game is done at 2-0, but it's not. If Birmingham City can just find something, Arsenal could make a rare mistake, could get a set piece and a good delivery in, which balls in from corners and free kicks have been decent when they've found those rare opportunities. And get a goal, the game suddenly has a completely different complexion. And there is a rare mistake from Arsenal, given away. And Little John had the chance. And couldn't find the pass. Ball forward only half cut out. Little. Williamson. Given away by Little. Mead ticks things on. Elsewhere with just over 10 minutes of normal time left. Manchester City still being held by Everton. How Arsenal fans would love that result to stay the same. You might be able to see on the top left-hand corner of your screen just there is the rainbow flag as well. Fantastic to see that flying at St George's Park. As a member of the LGBTQ plus community myself, I can only say it's very noted and appreciated what an inclusive league the WSL is. Birmingham City trying to play out from the back. Hammered into the channel. Walker can't get there. Now Williamson. Well, they haven't scored in this second half, but they've definitely kept intent up. They certainly haven't been willing to just sit on a 2-0 lead. Couldn't accuse Arsenal of that. Crossfield from Mead. Bit too much on that, though, for Nobbs.
Substitution for Arsenal.
Second change for Arsenal.
Number 8, Jordan Nobbs, be replaced by number 17, Lisa Evans.
The Arsenal captain, Jordan Nobbs, will take her leave. She's been bright and found a lot of space out on that right flank.
She'll be replaced by number 21, Marlon Goot.
So it's two pretty much straight swaps in midfield. Marlon Goot comes on for Leah Wouty, both sort of quietly underrated players in midfield who just tick things on. And Lisa Evans comes on for Jordan Nobbs, who down that left-hand channel continually pulled and stretched the Birmingham City defence. So Arsenal have now made 3 changes. All forward, Williamson gathers into the last 15 minutes. This game not quite secure yet. I guarantee a professional outfit like Arsenal in their attitude and outlook certainly won't be thinking that it is. They'd be foolish to. And they won't be. They're determined to pile more goals on. McCabe forwards, sliding out is Hampton, who does enough, just about enough. Arsenal no victory here, and they'll go 6 points behind Manchester United with a game in hand on them in the battle for top 3 and Champions League football next season. Of course, they face Manchester United next. For now, here's Miedema. Miedema making room. Miedema! Well, you knew she was going to score at some point. Missed a few chances in the first half, hit the post. But Vivianne Miedema finally scores her first goal against Birmingham City. 56 WSL goals in her career, and now 1 against the Blues. You can't keep a world-class player like that quiet for long. Rolled her marker, found some space. Hampton got a bit on it, but it was too hot to handle. And it's 3-0 Arsenal. And almost certainly game, set and match. Can Birmingham City get one back? Gathered by Williams. Shot on the angle from Walker. He's already scored 5 of their 10 league goals this season. Fourteenth WSL goal of the season for the division's top scorer, Vivianne Miedema. Nicely won back. Goal number 14 in the WSL this season for Vivianne Miedema. This her 15th appearance. Surprisingly, and this really does say a lot about how good she is, that's actually comfortably her worst scoring season. Ball's put in, flicked on by Scott. He scored 4 in 4 in the 17-18 season. But in terms of her 3 full seasons, this is actually her most disappointing, and she's still scoring at a goal a game. That speaks volumes. Kept alive. Now McCabe can cross, could be 4, nearly 4. Lisa Evans sniffing. And it was just taken off her at the last moment by Rebecca Holloway. Just coming back to that Miedema goal record, 22 goals in 13 league games in the 18-19 season when Arsenal won the title, and then 16 in 14 in the 19-20 season that of course was curtailed. Arsenal finishing 3rd on points per game. 14 and 14 this time around. Little's corner. Arsenal chasing a fourth. Headed up by Ruben Moy. Miedemar was there. Maritz goes to the safety of Williams. We'll be eyeing up back-to-back clean sheets and want to avoid what will probably almost certainly be a consolation here to ruin that particular record. Break forward by Walker. Claudia Walker, who has been such a key part of this Birmingham City side. And if they do stay up, which they probably will and should do from the position they're in, Walker will be arguably the biggest individual contributor in that achievement. Well, referee Elizabeth Sims just got to deal with a bit of tension boiling over here.
Substitution for Arsenal, leaving the field, number 7, Daniela van der Donk, to be replaced by number 14, Jill Rood.
Arsenal emptying their bench. Jill Rood comes on.
And second Arsenal change, leaving the field is number 16, Noah Maritz, replaced by number 20, Leonie Meyer.
So change it. Right back. As the German international Leonie Meyer comes on for Noel Maritz. Meanwhile, Daniela van der Donk makes room for Jill Rood to come on. Offside. Bringing that attack to an end. Brighton have got a second goal against Tottenham Hotspur in one of the two other games going on right now. And it's a second as well for Inessa Kagman, the attacking midfielder. Ball spread wide by Mead. Well, there was a chance, it appeared, for Leonie Meyer to cross, but Holloway eventually blocked her path. Mead. Helped on by Miedemar. Was that a foul? Didn't seem to be much in that one. Meyer went down, and when she didn't get the decision after the collision with Holloway, stayed on her feet. It's a foul throw. Not very often seen. Leonie Meyer, the guilty party. Murray. It's not the best back pass to her keeper. Miedemar's chasing it down. This could be dangerous trying to play their way out from here, but they've done it okay. Murray wide. Gets a second chance. Well dispossessed by Williamson. Such good anticipation there. Now the ball in behind Holloway. Mead. Meyer. Inside. Gut. Gut again. Really bad news for Arsenal fans. Manchester City do lead against Everton. Kira Walsh with the goal just inside the last 10 minutes. Williamson crossfield, Miedema helps it on. Miedema once more. Coote. Williamson inside. Little. Birmingham City sitting very deep now and looking a bit leggy. You can't really blame them. McCabe. Arsenal have used all 5 of their changes, so they won't be able to make any further alterations. Birmingham City can make one more. Gemma Lawley, the only outfield player left on their bench, apart from the 2 backup keepers. Into the last 5 minutes or so of normal time here at St George's Park. Birmingham City trying to get a consolation. That's not a bad ball in. There was muted penalty appeals. For foul on Whip, nothing given. Up next for Birmingham City. They've got Everton at home in a rearranged game on Thursday the 11th, this coming Thursday. That will most certainly, as far as I understand, still be here at St George's Park. And then West Ham United away the 17th of March. For now, they're trying not to concede a 4th, and they've just about managed to avoid that. Jill Roord from close range, denied by Hannah Hampton. And the covering defence did just enough. Rebecca Holloway, the Northern Ireland international, seems to have injured herself in the process. As you might be able to see from that clock on the far side, counting down. 3.5 minutes plus stoppages left. And Arsenal, ever since they've had the first goal, have been in control of this one. And I hope that this is another step to building a better run. Just 8 points from 8 WSL games. But now it will almost certainly be back-to-back victories against the teams from the Midlands, Aston Villa and Birmingham. Up next for the Gunners, that big game against Manchester United. And then it's the derby against Tottenham Hotspur. They've already beaten comprehensively twice this season. Once in the reverse league fixture, once in the cup. 4-0 in the cup, 6-1 in the league. Miedema was absolutely on fire, even by her high standards in both of those games. That derby, this time with Tottenham having home advantage, is on the 28th of March, and then Arsenal starts with a trip. Arsenal start their April, I should say, with a trip to bottom club Bristol City. I've also got cup action to look forward to, the Gunners, and then their last 3 league fixtures of the season are Brighton and Hove Albion at home, Everton away, and then Aston Villa at home. Cross dug out. It's a bit too much on it though. Recycled by Meyer. Now clipped forward. Was initially well won by Murray. Here come Arsenal. Recycled by Roord. Birmingham City trying to find a bit of a consolation here. Win this home run will stretch to 10 in the league, going back to October 2019 when they beat Liverpool. 2 draws and this an 8th loss across that 1.5-year span. win this in all 6 of their home WSL games this season, including this one, taking just 1 point, that being from the goalless draw in mid-January against Brighton and Hove Albion. West Ham, the only other team yet to win at home in the WSL this season. Hammers with an identical record, just 1 point from 6 home games. It's Birmingham City's away form that saved them really from being more in the mire. 1-0 win at Reading, a 4-0 win at Bristol City, both in October, and then a 1-0 win at arch rivals Aston Villa in mid-November, helping them pull clear of relegation trouble. As Hampton clears, finds touch. Arsenal just dotting the I's and crossing the T's on back-to-back wins as they refine their form. Here's Little. Little slides it through, Roared, almost fell for Miedemar.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 4 additional minutes at the end of the second half. 4 minutes. 3 minutes, correction.
Well, that was a slight, I can't help but laugh, that was a slight sort of comedy of errors there. The stadium announcer saying there'd be 4 minutes added on, just as you watching at home and yours truly here in the commentary box looked at the fourth official on the touchline, Elliot Swallow, putting up 3 minutes on his board, and eventually between them we got to what we need to know, which is a minimum of 3 minutes left in this one. Here's Good. Heavy touch from Maya, and then just goes through the back of Whip. Almost completed the first of those 3 minimum minutes added on. Will be a 4th away win from 8 games on the road this season for Arsenal. They can start to look ahead to that huge clash against Manchester United in 12 days' time, unsurprisingly selected for television coverage. That being in the UK, of course you can see it across the world on the FA Player and various broadcast partners. Fantastic to see the league growing so much in that regard. As Hampton clears it into a dangerous area. Here's McCabe. McCabe decides to shoot. Well, that would have been outrageous. Hampton recovers and gathers. Katie McCabe, who scored a cracking goal in the 4-0 win against Aston Villa last week. She's a left back, but left back almost only in name, much more of a left winger often. Second highest on the WSL assist table this season. McCabe getting the assist for the 3rd goal today. Another one to her tally. Here's Miedemar. Should be a 4th, surely. Evans! Evans makes it 4. Arsenal have yet another to their tally. And could well have secured back-to-back 4-0 wins. The substitute on target. Miedemar rolled it into her path. Evans smashed it in for 4-0. The Scot gets her 2nd WSL goal of the season. (4-0) Arsenal. Oh, she hit the post early on, Vivianne Miedemar. Put 3 half-decent chances over. But her quality certainly can't be doubted. And she will finish this game with 2 assists and a goal as well. Assisted the 2nd and the 4th and scored the 3rd. It all started when Caitlin Ford was set up by Van der Donk for the first on 37 minutes. It looked like the assistant referee, Emily Carney, had put her flag up, but referee Elizabeth Sims overruled her, gave the goal Just 2 minutes later, Miedemar set up forward for 2-0 just before half-time. Arsenal have been in control ever since. Miedemar made it 3-0, and then Lisa Evans rounded things off. A comfortable win for Arsenal, back-to-back 4-0 victories. The Gunners are back, defeating Aston Villa by that scoreline last weekend, and now Birmingham City by the same today. Comprehensive from the Gunners. They stay 6 points behind Manchester United with a game in hand ahead of their big match against each other in 12 days' time when Arsenal host the Red Devils. For now, though, comfortable victors as they get themselves back on course after that extended mid-season blip. Arsenal still yet to beat any of the top 3 teams above them. They know that if they can't do that against Manchester United next week, that will put a big dent in their chances of Champions League football next season. But for now, they can be pleased to have avoided this banana skin. Caitlin Ford's double before half-time took her to 9 league goals for the season and put them in control. Then Miedemar added a third, her 14th of the campaign in the league, and Lisa Evans then provided a 4th in stoppage time. As for Birmingham City, winless in their last 10 WSL home games, going back to a year and a half ago. But they're still relatively well placed, 5 points above bottom club Bristol in the fight to stay up. Full time here, thank you very much for your company, wherever you've been across the globe. Full time here, it's been fantastic to have your company wherever you have been across the world. It's finished here, Birmingham City 0, Arsenal 4.